Welcome back to the podcast of the channel, guys. League of Inches, Joel, and special guest, absolutely going crazy at the moment. Neha from the NRLW Watch page. You've seen him everywhere you go at the moment. I've on the new threads, Instagram. She'll be able to do a little plug herself in a minute. I don't want to forget anything, but page is absolutely blown up. Loving all the content that you are producing for the women's side of it, the NRLW and women's rugby league in general. Now, welcome to the podcast. We're here to do a season preview, but first, I'll just get you to quickly talk about your own channel, give yourself a plug, and get a few more thousand followers.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to have this chat with you. It's something that I haven't really done, getting on interviews with other people. So I'm excited for the practice as well, and I'm sure you'll, get me through this quite easily. But I guess in terms of the page, yeah, it was such a spur of the moment idea. I think, obviously, pages like Bloke in a Bar, Guru, Roast, all of them, Random Stats Guy, like we kind of, yeah, grew inspo from them. And I was like, hold on, like there's not much out there for the women in terms of pages like that. So I was like, had a light bulb moment and I was like, let's go. Like I can obviously create. My partner is more so the brains than I am, but we obviously know our stuff, and creating this platform together, it was a mission. Like we were like, oh, it's a new space for us. Is it going to grow? But obviously it's just, taken off, like you said, and it's growing by the second. Like I can't believe sometimes the engagement that we get on posts, like just out of nowhere, or the, support that comes through. And I'm going to games now, and, people are really, taking to what I've been doing. And it's, so good to feel that as well, that appreciation, because I am putting a lot of time into it. But yeah, it's been awesome. It's really good.
Yeah. I can definitely appreciate the time and effort you're putting into it. The page and the posts are fantastic, and the engagement as well. I know a lot of pages out there, but very rarely do they actually reply and things like pretty much 24/7. That's what you do, which is something that I love and very much get into the conversations and get people's points of view. And you're always happy to share it as well. We're here to talk about the upcoming 2023 season, the NRLW. It's under 2 weeks away now. Can't wait for it. It kicks off Saturday, 22nd of July. Massive. It's a 10-team competition this time, so there's been 4 new teams added, which we will get to. The trials, we've seen some trials underway over the weekend previously, so a couple of good results there, some interesting results as well, and some players that really shone over the weekend as well. So what we'll do, we'll just go through each team. We've got a few questions to answer for each, and hopefully after this, a lot of more people have a bit more eyes on the NRLW, have a bit of an understanding, a bit more players to look out for, and have some faith for what their team can do moving forward. So first up, the 3-time champion in the Broncos, who have been phenomenal throughout this whole campaign, but I guess the rest of the crowd has caught up to them in a way as of last year. So let's go first off with the Broncos, the key recruit.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say for Broncos, we're going to go with Mele Hufanga. She had an amazing performance for New Zealand in the World Cup. And I'm thinking if she can unlock that potential that she had in the World Cup and replicates that for the NRLW, we're going to see, like, I think she'll become one of the most damaging centers in the game. So I'm going to go Mele Hufanga.
With that, there also comes biggest losses, and who's the biggest loss that the Broncos have had for this year, with a few teams coming in, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Taryn Aiken. She's obviously moved to the Roosters, and she's obviously been one of Broncos' best players the last couple of seasons. So, yeah, Taryn Aiken's a big loss for us.
Absolute gun. She's been around for a while, so that's a bit of experience lost in that squad. Why can the Broncos win it and bring back for their 4th title? This would be crazy.
Oh, I'm going to say, obviously with Ali Brigginshaw leading the team, she's got that experience. We've also signed those big names, Mele Hufanga, Gal Broughton, Romy Teitzel, Tasman Gray. And then if Scott Prince can unlock the attacking potential of Gal Broughton in the halves, then I think that Broncos will really pile on points this year. And you probably will ask me why they can't win, and I'm not going to say why they can't. I reckon I will.
They're your favourites, are they?
Yeah, they're my favorites.
Tell you what, that's the right coach to have points coming out of. Scott Prince, if anyone's seen him on the touch field lately, he's still got it. So that's one of the guys to really be leading the team forward. But just on Ali quickly, we've seen her in the State of Origin side of things and playing that lock role. Is that something that you think will happen for this campaign, or she'll go back into the halves?
No, I think, Gail Broughton is obviously moving into the halves. I don't know. I think we will see the same. Don't change what's not broken, whatever the saying is. So I think, I think we'll go the same.
Yeah, we'll go with that saying. I like that as well. So, so predicted finish. You've already basically said it. You reckon first, and they'll win the comp.
Oh, look, if we're talking realistically and we're gonna go predicted finish, I'm putting them at 4th position. I think we're gonna put my bias aside, but I think 4th for now.
So just to let everyone know out there, you're a Broncos fan.
Yeah, a very big Broncos fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're doing well in the men's competition as well, so it could be a double. Who knows? This could be the year of the Bronco. Moving on to one of the newbies, the Canberra Raiders. It's been, I'm not sure how it's been for a recruitment drive. We're about to find out. Obviously, there has been no losses. So who's the key recruit? Or you could, because it's a newbie, I'll let you have maybe a couple if you want.
I'm going to stick with one because I think for Raiders, obviously a lot of people are saying that on paper they look like a really strong team, which I agree. But I think for one person to say is a key recruit, I'm going to go with Jemima Taufa. I think that she's a great player to build a new club around, and she'll really set high standards for the rest of the squad and be a real leader for them on the field with her actions. So yeah, I'm going Jemima Taufa for Raiders.
Yeah, she did a really good job in that aspect with the Eels as well when she was there, and the leadership factor was amazing with her. Why can you just mention a lot of people are rating the Raiders squad quite highly? Why can they win it?
I think that they've made some really underrated signings, especially with Zahara Temera as well on there. I think that their squad is pretty solid, and they're going to be a team that's really gritty and stays in the grind. So I don't think they'll let other people win easy. I think that they're really underestimated with who they've got on board.
Do they get many games at home in this, in Canberra, or do they have to play them around Sydney?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. Maybe.
That could be a good advantage for them as well, playing that freezing conditions at the moment. I know personally I'd hate to go down there at the moment. So why can't they win it? Obviously, being a new team, it might be a bit tougher. Is there any other reasons?
Yeah, I think that, obviously it's, like you said, it's hard to build a team from scratch and be successful right away. Like they've obviously got to build their systems, get used to each other. So I think for a lot of the new teams, that's going to be the same answer. Like it's just a new team that they haven't really got their systems in place yet. So just gelling and understanding what the process is moving forward might be a tricky position for all the new teams.
Yeah, 100% agree with that one. We move on to another new team in the Cronulla Sharks, who they're new to the NRLW, but I know they've been around for quite some time, building up in the lower grades for the women's competition. They've been doing really well. So this is obviously a long time coming for the Sharks. I think a lot of people at the start of the NRLW were surprised they weren't one of the first teams to be put on because they had that foundation already. So I think that in a way, I know they're a new team, but they've got a little bit of a head start on some of the other three new teams in a way with how good they're going. So who's the key recruit?
Key recruit, I'm going to say Emma Tonegata, I think. Yeah, she's obviously one of the genuine superstars and can break any game open. So I think it'll be interesting to see, how she goes at 6. But yeah, she looked really comfortable there in the trial game. So I think, I think that she's one of the key recruits for Sharks.
Yep. So there's no losses, obviously a new team, but why can the Sharkies win it? As I said, they have been around for some time now.
Yeah, I think on paper as well, they're one of the best teams. So I think that they'll go a long way this year. They've got one of the best attacks in the comps, and based off the trial games, they looked really, really like they look like a really well-coached team. They have fun playing together. So I think, I think a lot of people are putting them in that 1 to 2 position on the ladder. So.
You mentioned obviously the key recruit. I think Penatani signed there as well now from the Eels. So that's another. You mentioned their back line looks really impressive, and that's another one to just some speed, there's some brilliance there in the back line, some class. So why can't they win it? Obviously, in that again that new team status, but they've, as I said, I think they've got some things to work into their team nicely.
Yeah, I think like the other new teams, it's obviously going to be a slow process getting that gel together as well. But potentially, obviously, everyone is rating Sharks high up on the ladder, and being a new new team in the competition could put them under that pressure of trying to perform. And people are obviously making a lot of people are thinking that they're going to have that end up in the grand final. So I don't know, potentially the pressure of just having that, as a new team and new club and stuff for the NRLW could break them. I don't know. Yeah, with the new signings.
Yeah. What about the predicted finish for the Sharkies?
I'm going to go 2.
No, second.
Yeah.
I'm writing these down as we go, by the way. So, and
Oh, good.
in the excitement of everything, I've actually forgotten to put down the Raiders. What was the predicted finish for the Raiders?
Raiders, I had them at 6.
Okay, nice. Perfect. So the Titans, they've been in the competition now from last year. Don't get the newbie status anymore, unfortunately. They're the experienced campaigners in this. But key recruit for the Titans.
Well, that one was a tricky one. I think obviously everyone saw the big names get signed with Talia Fuimarino, Shaylee Bent, Jamie Chapman. But I would honestly have to say it'd be Niall Williams-Guthrie from the Union New Zealand Sevens team. I think that she's a beast on the field, and I guess I'm saying her. Obviously, she's new to rugby league, but I think I would say she's obviously experienced. She can, support the younger recruits, and especially off the field as well. On the field with the experience, but off the field in terms of the mental game, she's obviously been a full-time athlete, so she understands what comes with that, and navigating hard criticism or a bad performance and stuff. So I think that she'll really be that support for the young girls.
Yeah, I agree with you as well with the New Zealand Sevens and the Rugby Sevens ladies that do come over. We see them when they basically step foot in the field. It's like they've been playing for ages in their career. They're just simply athletes and they're so good at what they do. It's great that they come out and apply their trades with the NRLW. The biggest loss for the Titans, obviously, they were around last year, so they would have a few losses there.
Yeah, I'm going to say Tasman Gray, obviously going to the Broncos. She obviously won the Player of the Series for Origin this year. But in terms of her being the biggest loss, I think, she got injured in the 2022 season. And I think that Titans didn't actually really get to see the potential from Tasman Gray. So I'm thinking it's going to be a big loss moving forward when we see her in this new season.
Yep, definitely. Why can they win the Gold Coast Titans?
I'm going to say they've got so many attacking weapons. On paper, they're the best attacking team. So I think that that's going to really push them forward to winning the competition. I say a lot of people, I guess, there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions on my page, but I think that there's a big stack of people who are thinking that Titans will be in the finals as well. So, with those strong key players of Tillier and Shaylee and Niall and Jamie Chapman. So I think Titans could win just based off that.
Yep. And what about why can't they win it? They sound like a very promising site. I don't know if there's many reasons why.
Yeah. I think that they, as much as they've got those experienced players, they've still got a very, very young team. If you look at the rest of the squad, it's very young. So they might lack that experience, and which might get them in the big moments that they need leading up to, getting higher up on the ladder.
Predicted finish.
Oh, I'm going to say Titans third.
Third, look out.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say the Bronco we knew would have found that impossible to say first. So
it was
hard. We got moving on to last year's winners, the Newcastle Knights. So obviously a fantastic squad last year. Key recruit to add to the grand final winners.
Yeah. I think that this one might surprise people, but I'm going to go with Georgia Roach. She's in the halves with Jessie Southwell. She's just come from, I think it's Leeds Rhino. That might be wrong, but from England. And she's actually signed a 5-year deal with the club. So,
Wow.
I think, that was interesting to us as well. But I think that she can, be that game managing half, which allows Jessie to be, free in attack and play her natural game that could, really unlock a hard stop attack. So I think that, those two will pair up really nicely. So I'm excited to see what they do.
There could be a number of females in this category. Everyone loves to pick at a grand final winning side. Who's their biggest loss?
I'm going to go with Millie Boyle, obviously.
Yeah.
That's pretty self-explanatory. She's one of the best forwards in the game. So it was actually a bit of a shock when she left after one season. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that her and her partner were settled up in Newcastle and were keen to make that home for a while. So I was shocked and surprised as well.
Yeah.
Why can they go back to back?
I think that in terms of going back to back, they have that confidence after winning in 2022. So they'll learn a lot from that. Tamika Upton obviously is still there at fullback. So I think, obviously she's arguably one of the best players in the game. So yeah, I think that they can really, learn off her and, take control from her to win another season. So
yeah. When it comes to a reason why they can't, it sounds to me straight away, once you mentioned the Millie Boyle factor, that go forward might be an issue for them this year. Is that the sort of path you'll go down for why they can't win it?
Yeah, I think they lost a chunk of their premiership winning side. So this new team will have to obviously gel, and it's hard enough going back to back when you don't lose players. So I think, it's going to be tricky for them to just maintain that focus and, especially with losing Millie Boyle. Yeah, that's going to be tough for them.
Yeah, no, definitely there. Predicted finish.
Predicted finish, I'm going Knights at 5.
Yes, look out. A little bit of a fall, but they're thereabouts. They're in the battle. Cowboys, another newbie to the competition, and great to see another Queensland team in there. And key recruit for North Queensland Cowboys.
I'm going to go Kira Dibb. I honestly she's probably one of my favorite players. So I think that she'll be a key player for the Cowboys attack, and she can manage a game really well and has a great kicking and running game. And I was surprised to not see her in Origin. So yeah, I think that that's going to be a big recruit for Cowboys.
Yep. Obviously a new team, so there's no losses at all for them. Why can they win the competition?
I'm going to go with I think that with winning the competition, they've got obviously Kira Dibb, they've got Talisha Harden, they've also got Shania Power. But it could, be the same as the Raiders team. They just won't go away in games. They're going to be really gritty. Sorry, did I say Raiders or Cowboys? Yeah, similar to the Raiders team. They, will be really gritty and grindy and have a good mix of youth and experience. So that's why I'm thinking they'll come away.
Why can't one of the newbies win the comp?
Same as the other teams. I think just being a new team and having those processes. I wish I had like a proper, answer, but I think that that's just what's going to make them fall behind is just not having that, process in place and, systems in place to get there.
It is definitely an appropriate answer. So you can use it with all four. It's fine. Now, predicted finish for the North Queensland Cowboys.
I'm going 7th place.
Oh, look out.
Yeah.
The Queensland inside, you couldn't bring him into the top 4 or something. No way. Now, be nice for the next one. I am a Para fan, but let's see what you think here. The grand final runners-up, they made a massive run and won the one game last year to make it into the grand final, then won the semi-final as well. And then key recruit for the Eels. I know they've had a lot of losses, but key recruit?
I'm going to go, there's obviously 2 main recruits that come to my mind, and that's Elsie Albert and Rachel Pearson. I think that I'm leaning more towards Elsie. Obviously, she's such a hard player to stop when she gets going, and she'll really provide them with that strong platform to, play off with her runs. So I think that, Elsie is one of the, stronger players in the game. So, Elsie Albert, key recruit.
I agree. Close to line, very dangerous, very hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest loss, and as I just mentioned, there was a number, and I remember I'm in a few Para chats where we've talked about this at length and been amazed at how many have actually left from the squad. So can you please pinpoint us to one?
Yeah, and I think that if this player would have stayed on with with Elsie Albert, I think it would have been really strong, but I'm going to go Kilos Simama Taufa. The same reasons I, listed before. She's a great player to build a new club around, will really set high standards for the rest of the squad and be a real leader for, them on the field with their actions. So I don't know. I think that, her leadership and high standards will be really missed for the Eels.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one. Can you please give me something why we can win the comp?
I honestly think, watching the trial game with the Charrington sisters, they've got a lot of energy. They've got that, I don't know, drive and passion. You can really see it come through in their game. And I think that that's a really big push for the other players on the team and confidence on the back of the Charringtons. So I think that a lot of the team will feed off that, and if they get that momentum together as a team, they could be hard to stop. And I look at them as a playing group, and I think that they really have that connection with each other to just make sure the job gets done every time I see them playing, especially with the Charringtons on the team. So yeah, I think that the energy really could bring them up higher on the ladder.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that I love what the Charrington sisters bring is that energy factor, and a lot of people underestimate what that can bring to a side in any sort of sport, professional sport. That's infectious, and if you can get that on the field, you can be a dangerous side. Why can't they win it? I think it might have a lot to do with some of the experience lost.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. The loss of I think they probably had the most amount of players that lost at club, so I think it's going to be hard to get many new faces working together quickly. So yeah, I'm just going with the amount of players lost, to be honest.
Predicted finish.
So don't hate me.
I know what's coming. It's fine.
And you know what? If my followers do see this, I think that they're going to come for me as well. But I'm putting them at 9th, to be honest,
Nice.
just because of the amount of losses. So
one position better than I thought it was going to be. That's fine. We've got the Dragons who have been there or thereabouts for the last couple of years, and Jamie Howard as coach has been doing quite a fantastic job. They just need to get to that next level now, and let's see if they've got the squad capable of doing that. The key recruit for the Dragons.
I'm going Racy McGregor, obviously being the Dally M winner, and I think that with Dragons losing so many key players, bringing Racine to the team with such a young squad will really help them, steer them around. So, yeah, Racine's going to be really strong for the team, I reckon.
Biggest loss we did see as early as today. There was a late scratching, unfortunately, for the team. I'm not sure if she might feature in this or not.
Yeah, I guess yes and no. I think that we saw a lot of Jillaroos players leave. Those being Emma Tonegado, Shelley Bent, Talia Fuemono, Kezzy Apps, Holly Wheeler, Keely Davis. The list goes on with how many key Jillaroos players we lost, and then Dragons lost. And I think that a lot of our followers were like, "What the hell is going on? Like, this is just crazy. How can so many players just walk away from a team?" And I think, with my conversation with Jamie Howard, he was saying that when they came back from the World Cup, a lot of the girls wanted to play together. So I think that was a big reason. Obviously, with the 4 new teams coming on board, players wanted to move away. But if I had to say one, I'm just going with Emma Tonegado, to be honest. I think that, she brings the energy and intensity and support around the ruck. And I think that Tegan Berry will have really big shoes to fill with Emma Tonegado leaving. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, you make it sound a bit better for us para fans after listening to that list. That was great. I feel a little bit better. Why can they win the comp?
I think, like I said before, I think Sowie is really good at bringing his squad together. He's very hands-on from what I've noticed. And I think that, players have bought into his style with the halves pairing of Tyler and Racine as well. I think that they'll be, the key of, really getting one of the best halves pairings for the comp this year. So, yeah, I'm thinking that's why, especially with Sowie and his passion for the team.
I agree with that. And just a side note, I was actually shocked that he wasn't more in the conversation for the NRL job, because I think he has a fantastic footy brain and he's just simply getting better and better as he goes. So why can't they win the competition?
I think that obviously they lost a lot of experienced rep players, so they've brought a really young squad on. it'll be tough for them to match it with the teams that look better on paper as well. So, I think there is a little bit of, doubt there with the mix of experienced and young, but I think that, yeah, hopefully they can obviously push through to be higher on the ladder.
What's your predicted finish for the Red V?
Yeah, I'm going 8th for the Dragons.
Jeez, you're coming after some of these popular teams. Your inbox is going to be flooded once this is released. The Roosters are champions for the 2021, but that was the early last year competition, and they've got some big recruits. They're looking like they really want to go after this competition this year. Who's your key recruit?
It was hard to decide between Boyle and Aiken, to be honest. They're both huge signings. I think that Aiken will leave the hole left by Racing McGregor in the halves. So I think, I'm going to go Aiken.
Yep, no, I agree with that one. Biggest loss?
Yeah, Racing. I think that, she'll be their biggest loss. Obviously, Dally M player, and then, she's a really underrated player as well.
As I mentioned, it looks like they're going hard for this one this year. Why can they win it?
I'm gonna say that obviously they're a strong team on paper. They should obviously, be the favorites to win it with the squad. But yeah, I think a lot of people are backing the Roosters this year.
Can you see any chinks in their armor then?
I think, with the same for everyone. I think with so many changes and such a short season, teams might find it hard to gel. So that's really the only reason I'm thinking for Roosters.
Jeez, that's sounding a little bit. That's not sounding great for the rest. Predicted finish.
I'm going number 1. I'm reckoning.
Yep.
I feel like they're going to finish first.
Uncle Nick will get his way in that. Sombrero gets bigger and bigger. The West Tigers, the last team for the competition, and another newbie. Again, similar to the Sharkies, I know they have had quite a good run into this comp, and probably could have been in earlier than they are as well. Had quite a good foundation there. Key recruit for the West Tigers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kezi Apps. I think pretty similar reasoning to Taufa. She's an experienced player who's seen it all. Will lead from the front and guide the Tigers, who have a really young team as well. So I think that she'll be that really key person for the Tigers. Obviously, being a younger team, and I think she'll really steer them the way through.
What about why they can win it?
I'm gonna go with I think that they have got many attacking weapons, and I think that I don't know. They've signed obviously the big 3: Kezi, Apps, Batil, Togatuki. And if this young team can reach their potential, then I think it could really work.
Look, the Tigers fans have been down in the dumps lately. It's been tough for them.
Yeah.
Can you please give them a soft approach here why they can't win it?
Look, the same as the other ones. I think that we saw their performance in the trial game, and I think that a lot of, obviously it's a new team, new season, like there's short preseason, whatever. Like I think that is a little bit of a reason as to why they couldn't. But I think, I don't know. I just think that just being a new team and processes and stuff the same as the others, I just think it'll be tough for them to gel together.
Yeah. There's only one spot left. Where is this West Tigers team finishing?
Sorry, they're going 10th.
West Tigers. Oh, the new NRL top had enough. To be fair, they do have some promising players there, so you never know. It's going to be a really close competition. Just 2 final questions for you to end. I just want to quickly ask, for anyone who's not too sure, hasn't done too much research, how does the final system work this year? Is it a top at 4, top 6, or?
Yeah, I actually think I need to look at that a little bit more. I actually don't really know, to be honest, how that's all working. Obviously with the 10 new teams, so I'll get back to you on that one.
No, that's okay. Sorry to bring that one on you. One that you definitely know about, and everyone's spoken about. Just go back to Origin. Surely there's already been talk, and the rumors swirling that from next year to be 3 games.
Yeah, I think there'll be an uproar if there isn't 3 games. I think obviously it has to go to 3. Nobody wants to see the way that it ended this year, and it seemed like at the end of game 2 that neither side won. You didn't really see
Mm,
Queensland celebrating, and you didn't see, New South Wales celebrating either. So I don't think people want to see that again. And with the record crowds at both games and 19,000 at Townsville, it's a no-brainer. I think if they don't move to 3 games and you leave out 1 game, I know like with the progression, obviously it's great to see the 2, but it doesn't make sense at the end of the day. It confused fans. Like we were just like,
yeah.
what are you talking about? Like, so I think that either 1 or 3, to be honest. And I think I read somewhere that, 3 games might not happen until 2025. So who knows?
There'll be there'll be
Yeah,
uproar if that happens. I think people are just
exactly.
assuming it'll be from next year. It just seems like the logical. Even the women straight afterwards are in interviews saying it just seems crazy to not be having a third one. So you get that both teams are at each other, keen to go again, and they were just shaking hands and they just won a
Yeah,
game. So it was very, very odd. But once again, this is I really appreciate your time, Neha. Please, can you just let everyone know? I know the NRLW is going from strength to strength, the women's game, and as I said, your channel is following. It's just going from strength to strength as well. Please let everyone know where they can find the page.
Um, like you said at the start, basically on every goddamn platform there is. So we're obviously NRLW Watch across all platforms, by Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and now Threads. That's where we are at the moment.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your time. Hopefully, we can chat a little bit more throughout the season. Looking forward to this NRLW season, and the Roosters, look, they're going to be holding up the competition according to yourself. So
Yeah.
thank you for jumping on League of Interest, having a chat. Hopefully, we get to chat again in the future.
Thank you so much for having me. This was awesome.
Thank you.